Prosecutors are talking about him bribing a hotel security worker. There was no criminal investigation. This was just a matter of personal embarrassment because he and the person in the video were in the midst of a 10-year relationship. That was difficult at times. That was toxic at times, but it was mutually so. And
Nah, until we see a video of Cassie beating the bricks off of Diddy, like Diddy was beating the bricks off of Cassie, then we don't believe that they was in a mutual relationship of domestic violence and she was just getting the bricks beat off her. Sorry. Yo, nigga lawyer asshole, bro.
this whole notion that Mr. Combs is forcing drugs on someone is just nonsensical, and it's going to prove to not be true.
Well, on that video, he initially denied the allegations when his then girlfriend, who is in that video, filed a lawsuit last fall. And we have that video, I should note.
Cook.
CNN was the first.
What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? You clicked the title, you read the page, so I'm going to just get to the point. Diddy, you're cooked, my man, you're cooked. And if you've been following me and been watching my videos when it comes to Diddy, I keep telling y'all, I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. I ain't gonna lie, hearing the feds say freak offs did take me out. Like, that was hilarious. Like, what happened and what he was doing in the freak offs was unacceptable. You know, I heard he was holding people against their will and kidnapping motherfuckers and all types of shit. Yeah, man, Diddy a wild boy, and I say that to say, bro, that just goes to show you that pretty soon this whole Hollywood gonna get exposed for real, because 1,000 bottles of lube is crazy. It kind of makes you, and then it makes you wonder, like, was he always this messed up? And if he was, because most of this shit go back from like 1990 and all that. Yo, Diddy, bro, you been messed up since then? Did Biggie know? I don't know. I just have so much questions, man. I really do, bro. Maybe that's why Biggie was always looking at that nigga funny, bro. No funny. Subscribe for the vibe. Let's get into it, man. So apparently this is Diddy's attorney. He did an interview with CNN, so let's see what he had to say.
Is not only does your client pose a flight risk, because obviously he's incredibly wealthy, has access to planes and a lot of staff, even though you said he turned over his passport to you months ago, they were also worried about him being able to interfere with witnesses and calling them. And so I guess the question is, how do you assure the court that that won't happen if prosecutors are saying this is someone who's attempted to bribe security staff and has already threatened and interfered with witnesses?
So I think the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. As soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, Mr. Combs got on a plane, left his home in Florida, flew to New York. I called the prosecutors myself. I said, Mr. Combs is in New York. Do you want to know where he is? If you want to know where he is, I'll tell you where he is, but he wants to surrender.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, do you guys are dealing with the feds. Who y'all think y'all talking to? Talk about Mr. Combs as he landed. Do you want to know where he is? You want to know where he is? I'll tell you where he is. Nigga, if they want to know where he is, you better tell them niggas where he is, the feds. Who this nigga think he is? I don't like this nigga.
Here to surrender. They didn't want him to surrender because if he surrenders, they don't get to tell the judge that he's a flight risk and he's a danger. Because who, as a danger and a flight risk, would fly to New York and surrender? So they didn't want him to surrender.
So since September 5th, you had known, you expected it was likely he was going to formally face charges.
So I really knew he was formally going to face charges on March 25th, the day of the searches, when Homeland Security.
He was like, he knew the moment they searched the crib, he was like, Diddy, they got your ass. Because I told you, stop recording them freak offs. I told you this. He knew. That's how he said that.
Searched his Los Angeles home, his Miami home, and his airplane. I knew that day by looking at the search warrants. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. This is not my first or 100th rodeo, that this was going to come as a matter of time. What I realized in early September is that it was coming soon. And so it was time for Mr. Combs to come to New York, which he did. And let me just point out one very important thing. The prosecutors are seizing on something that happened 8 years ago. You know, this video that we've all seen, and it's a bad video for Mr. Combs, and he said so himself when he gave his apology. This is 8 years.
That weak ass apology. Don't even bring that apology up.
Years ago, and
I don't care. Like, come on. I hate when they bring that up. Oh, girl, that was 8 years ago. That's like telling somebody get over slavery. Oh, that was X amount of years ago. So what? The hell?
Prosecutors are talking about him bribing a hotel security worker. There was no criminal investigation. This was just a matter of personal embarrassment because he and the person in the video were in the midst of a 10-year relationship that was difficult at times, that was toxic at times, but it was mutually so. And
Nah, until we see a video of Cassie beating the bricks off of Diddy, like Diddy was beating the bricks off of Cassie, then we don't believe that they was in a mutual relationship of domestic violence and she was just getting the bricks beat off her. Sorry. Yo, this nigga lawyer's an asshole, bro.
this whole notion that Mr. Combs is forcing drugs on someone is just nonsensical, and it's going to prove to not be true.
Well, on that video, he initially denied the allegations when his then girlfriend, who is in that video, filed a lawsuit last fall. And we have that video, I should note.
Cook.
CNN was the first outlet to exclusively report on it. He denied that happened when she filed it in a complaint. And then when the video came out is when he apologized for it.
So I wasn't his lawyer back then, so I don't, and I don't think.
AKA, yeah, I would have never told him to even deny the allegations. I would have just told him to stay quiet. He had a stupid lawyer before me. Now he got me. I'm a slick talker. Nigga, you sound just as stupid. You playing with fire.
He denied. I mean, I think the lawyers were the ones mostly making the denials. I think they were denying sex crimes. I mean, because at the end of the day, the gravamen of that civil complaint wasn't a misdemeanor assault, which is what you see on that video. Not minimizing it, but it's a misdemeanor assault.
That's considered a misdemeanor? Yo, I thought a misdemeanor was pushing somebody, I don't know, smacking them one time, hitting them, throwing all types of stuff at them. That's a misdemeanor? Nah, they gotta do better with the laws.
The gravamen of the complaint was sex crimes, and he denied that, and he still does.
Well, and you're saying that this is all just about that one relationship, but when you read through the indictment, they say that there's not just one victim. They say there's multiple victims here today. And what I heard described was they said they have 50 witnesses or victims.
Yeah, I think it's 49 witnesses and one victim. I think if you broke it down, and I say that because count 2, which is the sex trafficking count, has victim number 1, and there is no victim number 2 anywhere in the indictment.
So you're saying that there are not other women, because what they were essentially arguing here is that he coerced and forced women into sex acts by using physical force, financial pressure, emotional abuse, and narcotics for what they described as these freak-off sessions. They're saying that he self-described them as that.
Yeah, there's one victim in the indictment. That the charging document.
One victim does count, right?
No, of course, but I'm just not. It's not 50. I mean, what they did, and it's a little too cute, is it's 50 witnesses or victims. Well, it's
What? Did he just say too cute?
one victim. That's all that's in the indictment.
Our reporter who was in the courtroom today said that he appeared to have a stunned expression on his face. Was he surprised that he was arrested last night?
No, he definitely was not. I mean, I told him myself in early September, you are going to be arrested soon, and you're going to be charged with racketeering, and you're going to be charged with sex trafficking. So come to New York. It wasn't a long conversation. He agreed. So we knew this was coming. And in fact, we offered that he would turn himself in.
So if there are these witnesses and victims, and as you're saying that you believe it's one victim and 49 witnesses who saw this behavior, that's pretty powerful, though, to have that many people who have, if they go to court and argue that they witnessed this behavior by your client.
Well, no.
What's your defense against that kind of
So my defense is very well established. I interviewed myself the different men who were being brought sort of into Mr. Combs and this person's intimate situation. I've flown around the country. I've interviewed a large number of them. There's not the slightest inkling, according to the interviews that I've done, of anything that's coercive, non-consensual. Nobody was too drunk. Nobody was too high. These were adults in a relation. This is a 10-year relationship. We can't forget that. This is a 10-year relationship, and it was adults and consensual, and everybody who was there wanted to be there. So I feel very confident in our position.
You said you interviewed the men, but what about the women?
I haven't interviewed the woman. The woman's not available to me. She's presumably a grand jury witness, and we would not. We cannot try to interview a grand jury witness.
Damn, I wonder who it is. It gotta be. I think it rhymes with Massey.
And you don't think that there are any other women who are going to say that they were coerced into this, given drugs, and essentially as prosecutors were saying that that's what kept them compliant?
So there are a
these
lot
sessions.
of women in these civil cases. There's been a mountain of civil cases ever since the civil case that was filed in November. I don't see them as victims in the indictment. That's my point.
And so when you talk about that video of Cassie Ventura, that was his then girlfriend, in the video, I mean, just when you saw that, you said it's a bad video. It's pretty difficult to watch.
It is, no question. So let me tell you what happened.
Will that be used as evidence in court, do you think?
100%, 100%. So what I said in court today, and I'll say it again here, is
And no funny, just based on that video, it makes you believe everything that any witness was saying. He was holding us against our will. We believe it. Look, she tried to leave. He didn't let her. He's abusive. We seen that. He was on drugs. He had to be on something. No way, this is your normal state of mind. So it's like everything is like, it's not looking too good, buddy. You're going to jail like yesterday.
two of them were in a hotel. It was just the two of them in a hotel room. She found out that he was seeing someone else. She was going through his phone. She hit him in the head with his own phone. And then she walks into the hallway with two bags. One of the bags has all of his clothing. She's taking from him, which is why he runs out in a towel. So this isn't her fleeing from one of these freak-offs. Why would she take his clothing? That's not what it is. And when the evidence comes out,
Nigga, what? Because she probably was nervous and scared and on drugs like he gave her. She's not thinking. She just thinking, grab bags, grab this, let me go. What? Shut up. Yo, there's no way this is his lawyer.
this is going to be completely different than the government's portrayed it.
But on this video, and I just want to show that again now, how do you defend against allegations that he hit, kicked, and dragged women when he's on video hitting, kicking, and dragging a woman?
Exactly.
Sure, he's not charged with hitting, kicking, and dragging a woman. He's charged with sex trafficking, and he didn't traffic anybody.
But he's charged with a conspiracy here where he was using physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial pressure, as prosecutors allege, to keep these women in his fold. Maybe just Cassie Ventura, but keeping these women in the fold.
Cassie Ventura lived by herself. She had her own house. She had a family. She had a career. And
I don't know about career.
He was seeing another woman at the time. He wasn't around a lot. She could have done whatever she wanted to do. All of these allegations of, I was forced, I was coerced, I had to stay, are nonsense. And it's going to be proven to be so.
Nonsense?
Video, in the indictment, it alleges that your client paid hotel staff $50,000 to make it disappear from the hotel surveillance system. Did he pay off the hotel staff?
Not that I know of. I know that's an allegation. I don't know that is true. What I was concerned about when I heard about this allegation is whether there was an allegation that there was some sort of law enforcement investigation pending, because then that would be a crime. But there was none. And so this is not a crime.
You talked about...
Yo, he said, so basically if he did pay him off, it wasn't a crime.
You said you're portraying this as adults who were at these events that wanted to be, I shouldn't even call them events. That's not certainly how anyone else would label it, but that they wanted to be there. But they also allege that they were recorded and essentially used as blackmail. Is that not true?
That's not true. That's not true.
How can you prove that when they have electronic evidence that, as they argue, over 90 cell phones, laptops, iCloud storage accounts, 30 electronic and storage devices, hard drives, thumb drives? Yeah. You're not worried about that?
No, because if they had it, they would have put it in the indictment. And it's not in the indictment.
Boy, are you dumb? Let me tell you something. The feds always got something up their sleeve. Just because they got something up their sleeve. You know what I mean? Maybe he right, though. They would have put it in it. But I don't know.
When it comes to your client's credibility, I think people will look at what he said last fall. And it's not just his attorneys. I mean, he pays those attorneys. They're speaking on his behalf. They're the ones calling her claims baseless and ridiculous. And when you read the indictment today, they line up with what she alleged in that lawsuit last fall.
If the claim is that he had unwanted sex with her, that claim is baseless. And it will be proven to be baseless when we have a trial.
But the claim is obviously
Damn, yo, they about to eat Cassie ass up on that stand if she the witness, bro. They about to be asking her all type of shit. I feel bad for her, bro.
the conspiracy, the racketeering. It's much larger than just that, obviously, as you know.
It is, but the government wants it to be. But count 2, which is the sex trafficking count, relates to one person, and one person alone. All of this talk of dozens of victims and 50 witnesses, if they had that, and if they really had it, it would be in the indictment.
Damn, man. Y'all drop a comment. What y'all think?